I've been trying to upload an audio-only file to YouTube now for I don't know how long, and YouTube just doesn't want to let me do that. It wants a video file. So I took an audio clip and I saved it as a video file, and YouTube doesn't like that because it's in a supported file format. So now this is a video file, which is actually an audio file. Screw you, YouTube. Welcome back to In Defense of the Awkward Moment. I had the opportunity to go and take in a showing of the new Jungle Book movie a couple of days ago, and thought I'd share some brief thoughts about that. A little audio blurb, not a big video one. All in all, I guess first and foremost, I would say that the movie was definitely made for my generation and not kids. It's certainly not a bad movie. Certainly one worth going to see. But I'm not necessarily sure that I would take anybody younger than the age of 8, 9 years old to go and see it. There's some stuff in there that definitely some younger kids are going to have problems with. I guess what I can say without spoiling the movie a whole lot, first and foremost, is that graphically, the movie is just absolutely beautiful. They've gotten past the uncanny valley of animals that don't look like animals and movie sets that don't look like movie sets. They really have gotten to a point with CG now where the animals look all just absolutely fantastic. Even when you're looking right at them and the animals are talking to you, it doesn't look out of place. The graphics are just absolutely phenomenal. The set pieces are phenomenal. They really did a very, very good job with that. From a cast standpoint, just a stellar cast of people playing different parts. Of course, Mowgli is played by a relative newcomer to the scene, who I believe his name is Neil Seth. Wonderful, wonderful young man, wonderful actor. I suspect that we'll probably see more out of him as time passes on. Absolutely gives a great turn as Mowgli. Other prominent characters in the movie. Really tons of A-list talent here. Raksha, the wolf mother, is played by Lupita Nyong'o. Probably butchered that last name. Same gal that did mocap for Maz Kanata in the new Star Wars Episode 7. Wonderful job. Absolutely wonderful job as the wolf mother. For the life of me, I can't remember who plays Akela. I kind of forgettable there. Idris Elba is Shere Khan. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Sir Ben Kingsley crushes it as Bagheera. Scarlett Johansson, I'm going to go ahead and say, spent too little time on the screen as Kaa, the only gender flip from the Walt Disney cartoon that we all are familiar with. But did a really, really good job, just enough enhancement on her voice to make her sound like a snake. And she comes and goes too quickly. Definitely stay for the credits for her version of Trust in Me. Not bad at all. Christopher Walken, of course, is King Louie. And too little and too serious of him. But definitely fun while he was on the screen. Lastly, but certainly not least, we have Bill Murray. And I'm going to go ahead and be the bad guy here and say that I'm over Bill Murray. The last thing that was even remotely worthwhile that I saw Bill Murray in the middle of was Zombieland, and I am over Bill Murray. I can officially say that from a cinematic standpoint, he has outlived his usefulness. All due respect to the Chive and the wonderful work that they do. He's just... I'm not entirely sure he was the right actor to play Baloo. Everybody else fit in really, really well, but... I don't get the same sense of... I don't get the same vibe and sense from his character as I did from the original Baloo in the Jungle Book movie, that in the animated Disney flick. Really, it just not his best work. They probably could have gotten somebody else to play Baloo, and it probably would have done even better than it did before. Plot of the movie, definitely some changes. Some of those changes, again, the little people will not be happy with. Some of the grown-ups might not be happy with them either. Not trying to be spoilery. Overall plot of the movie remains the same. There's a tiger that wants to get young Mowgli dead and takes steps to accomplish this. Overall, not a bad movie. Fun, lots of humor. Graphics are absolutely gorgeous. Definitely one to go and catch if you're a fan of the Jungle Book. Several musical numbers, which sort of took me by surprise when they popped up. The Bare Necessities is in there. Trust in Me. The song that King Louie and his crew sing. I don't for the life remember what the name of it is, but yeah, all in all, not a bad movie. And this is the part where I'm going to wave the spoiler flag around, because there is one. there are two parts in the movie that really, really, really bothered me. And we're going to talk about those now. So again, if you haven't seen the spoilers flag yet, definite spoilers. The first of which is a revelation of a big plot point. So once again, spoilers. There's a scene in the movie about, call it halfway through the movie, when Mowgli has left the wolves and is running around, hanging around with Bagheera and Baloo. When Shere Khan comes to the wolves' den to make veiled threats to Akela. And there's, I don't know, well more than a dozen fully grown wolves there and their pups. And, of course, Akela is the alpha and is sitting at the top of a pile of rocks. And so Shere Khan wanders up next to him and sits down, and they have a very, very thinly veiled conversation about how Shere Khan's willing to take the forest apart if he doesn't have the man cub delivered to him. And one thing leads to another, and then out of nowhere, he pretty much one-shots Akela. This obviously is a serious deviation from the original material, which I was pretty stunned by. The part that really bothered me, not only here but also at the end of the movie, is that right there. And I realize I'm digging a little bit too deeply into this. That would have been the end of the tiger. I don't care how big he is. I don't care how strong he is. When you're in the middle of makes no difference 16 fully grown wolves, I don't care how big you are as a damn tiger. The wolves are going to obliterate you. I don't care if you just killed their alpha. They would just rock and roll all over your striped ass. Same thing happens towards the end of the movie. There's a big, everybody stands off. It's about as close to a slow clap moment in the jungle as they get. Everybody squares off against Shere Khan, and then the animals line up and do the dumb human thing and one by one attack the tiger instead of everybody coming after him at once. And the wolves in particular are just remarkably stupid about the whole thing, rather than using their harrying tactics and the things that make wolves some of the deadliest predators in the wild. That really annoyed the crap out of me. So those two scenes in the movie, that and again, I just have to go back to the fact that Bill Murray was just hugely unimpressive. He is officially at the point where I do not know why people are as enamored with him as they currently are. But all in all, not a horrible movie. It's definitely a rental. If you can make it into the movie theater on the cheap to go see it, do so. If you want to bring your kids, just make sure they're 8-9 years old or over, and gets tense in a couple of spots. So no young ones, but not a bad flick.